Okay, welcome to the introduction to the hypnotic lessons for A Course in Miracles. What I'd like to do here in the introduction is just to allow you to kind of get a better understanding of what's actually going to occur. First of all, I need to let you know this is just a standard warning for any and all hypnosis or meditation. Do not listen to this while driving a car, operating machinery, or doing anything that requires your full attention. This is for trance states, and in order to actually achieve something through this, this is a cooperation between you and I. And what I'd like for you to do is get into a private location. I would much rather you not begin with lesson number 1, but go back to the free lessons on YouTube and listen to those, practice those first, so that you can get used to A, the sound of my voice, and B, begin to understand how your mind drifts into this trance state. Once you're in the trance state and comfortable with it, these lessons will become automatic subconscious programming. In other words, at a conscious level, you'll hear my voice. Depending on how deep you go, meaning how often you practice this, you will essentially get better at it and better at it the longer you do this. What we're attempting to achieve here is a sliding in beyond the ego. So we're trying to get some books into your library, your subconscious library of memories. And we're going to alter the overall practice of your ego, moving you into a state of anxiety. Whether it's a small irritation or a large one, most human minds enter into anxiety quite frequently. And this is a way to override that programming by building up positive messages in your peaceful side of the library. You're not getting the concept of what the subconscious library is. I recommend purchasing my first book, The Reality Behind Reality, and you can get that at lulu.com. That's the only outlet that sells that book. So, what we'll be doing in the lessons is we will be using the student's workbook in the Course in Miracles. I will be using the review questions, which are a culmination or a conclusion. I'll give you approximately 5 lessons in one sitting. The best thing you can do for yourself to gain a better understanding of who you are and what the lessons are actually trying to teach you about who you are and where you are is to do these each lesson between 7 and 10 days in a row. In other words, set aside about 40 minutes to settle into your private area, wherever that is. And again, I recommend that you use a recliner chair. That's what hypnotists work with. We work with recliner chairs because you want to be in a reclined position, not a laying down position. If you were using a bed or a couch or something of that nature, put some pillows up behind your head and probably all the way down to your shoulders so that your head will be up slightly. Okay? You can, if you've practiced meditation for a long period of time, sit in a meditation position. But I'm going to tell you this from having done this for free for many, many years. People who attempt to do this generally cannot hold that position because of the amount of relaxation I'm going to put into your mind and body. This is going to be an extreme version of trance states, coupled with lessons that are extreme as well. So this is not for the faint of heart. This is not something that you might want to just try for the sake of trying it. This is something for serious people who want a very serious result in their spiritual nature. I hate using that word spiritual, but essentially that's the way I can communicate it to you. There is a secondary part in your mind that is connected to God, Elohim, the original God, Creator. I've discovered this on my own, and what I'm doing is simply repeating the process in a different way, slightly different from the way that I originally did it, because I was capable of deep trance states, being a hypnotist, and highly practiced in this. But if you just follow along and do this as I'm prescribing it to you. I also would, if you have not read the book, A Course in Miracles, please get a copy. You can get it on the internet from the Foundation for Inner Peace, and I would recommend both reading the text, not absolutely necessary, but it's something that you should do, and then open up to the lesson books and begin doing lessons. You can do the lessons and the hypnosis at the same time, but if you do not do 50 lessons prior to the first hypnotic lesson, you might get a little lost and get a little ahead of yourself, because these are coming from the review sections. So do your best to just follow along, and when it comes to the trance state, trying to remember what I'm saying is not important. In other words, it's more important to feel through the trance than it is to hang on to the words that I'm using. Words are fluid. Words are from your associative memory. Okay? You don't really need the words. What you need is the feeling behind the words. Okay, I hope I've translated that to you as best I can. And if English is not your first language, again, it's not the words I'm using, it's what I'm projecting behind the words as both a practiced hypnotist and someone who has already been through this process and gained that greater understanding that we call enlightenment. So, let's begin.